Okie dokie. Hello once again, my Kettle Corn cousins. This is Mitch, welder fabricator for kettlecornsupplies.com. I'm about ready to box this up, make a crate for it, so I can send it out to our Kettle Corn cousin Bob out in Mesa, Arizona. He had some custom things that he wanted done to him. Nothing too fancy, but I wanted to let you see it and think about maybe doing something like this for yourself someday. This is what I came up with. This is actually a drip tray and an oil pan. Let me get the camera out here and let you see what's going on. Now I'm doing this video partially for Bob's benefit. Excuse me while the camera shakes a little bit. Now he hasn't seen how this operates, so I want to show him as well as you what it is that I've done here. Here is the oil pan right now filled with some goodies for him, and you will put your oil here, the oil that you would get at Costco or any kind of corn oil. And let me take those out and get his, this is a 2-cup ladle. He'll dip his oil in here, bring it along the drip tray and drop it in there. So this drip tray here is just large enough that it hangs over the edge of the oil pot and hangs over the edge of the stainless steel bowl as it is, so you won't be getting any oil down here. Now, as I have started the last year or so, all of my machines I make it so that they're switchable. In other words, you can use it if you're a lefty or southpaw, or if you do it right hand. Probably 80% of you are going to use it right-handed, which is how it's set up when it comes to you. This handle right here, I bolt them on. I used to weld them on, now I bolt them on, but this is done so that you can move the handle from this side over to, excuse me, this side. You can see the hole that sit there and sit here, and you'll notice the little holes here. This is so that if you ever take the bowl off, you can match up the holes that the bowls are bolted down to, since I measure them out, but they're all going to be a little off otherwise. So you line up these two holes, or dots, 4 dots, and you'll have your bowl centered on the holes that I've drilled. Now this is the 110, Supreme 110. This is my most popular big machine. This one here you could do probably, this is really good for those shows that are doing between 400 and 1500 or 2000 a day. If you're doing a lot, consistently 1,000 to 2,000 or more a day, then you're going to probably want to hop up to the 162, which brings me to my next point. Our 162 that I make is a real 162 quart. This is, I call it a 110, but it is bigger than almost everybody's, I think bigger than everybody's 160. Now the reason for that is that you want to measure the bowl from center to center here, the edge to edge, inside diameter, and also the depth down to the bottom, which is 28.5 by 14.5 inches deep. Now my competitors who call themselves a 160, they'll weld a piece on top of it to make it a little taller, but in fact usually most of them are 105 quarts. If you actually put 105 quarts in it, that would be the maximum amount of liquid volume that it would have in it. So measure the bowl by the inches, not so much what they say the quarts are. This is a 110 quart, 28.5 inch bowl. Also, you'll notice here I have these lips done. I really like these guys. This does several things. For one, it just looks better, but it sits flush to the top plate here, so you don't have oil dripping down inside. I actually cut it inside here, so there's about a 1 inch gap there, so there's no way oil can get dripped down. And that was happening on some of the others that I was making for other companies, is the oil would drip down when you opened it down the edge and then run down the bowl, and then would land on the burner, and you get a little bit of flame. Nothing big, just annoying little smoke. But this is the 110. I've added a couple of hinges to it. Now it has 5 hinges instead of the usual 3. I just like the aluminum hinges. They look better, and they're more aesthetically easier to use. And the bolt-on ones, they're good, they're fine, but they come loose, and these don't. So, and they're assured not to break. Now most of these You'll notice here I've gotten rid of the diamond plate because I want this to be clean here. I like this to be clean. So, see what other things have I done on this. Well, I also improved this. This is now a, instead of a nylon hose, it is a stainless steel gas hose. A lot safer, a lot stronger, and you're either turning it on or off. That's it, right there, on or off. Now, this is the electric start. You can hear that. Alright, let me turn it on here. Let me put the casters on. Oh, all of the casters on this machine are locking casters. That's the other thing that I improved on. I think that's the one I want. Let's lift this up, one arm. The reason why I can do that is because that spring assist right there. So what we have here, this is the internal workings of it. And again, like the oil tank, you can move it from one side to the other. This one right here has these vents, and you unbolt the vents right here, and you just take this over. You'll see the little star. Whoops, excuse me for a minute while I get that down so you can see it. You can see a little star right there. I like to put that on there, so all you have to do is move the vent from here to over here and block that off if you want to use that side. You don't really need to move the spring system. It works just fine like that, but it does, if you want to move it over to that side, the hardware is there for it. Now, going back to my oil tank here, I almost forgot to talk about it more. This is sitting inside the groove of the oil pan itself. You'll notice that there's a little bit of a gap there. Well, what I did is I curved this, and I have a little bolt that goes into the handle and a bigger bolt that goes into the frame of the machine itself. And the oil pan actually sits, this sits inside that little groove. Now, you can take this, just pick it up just like it is, don't even hardly move it, you're just picking it straight up, keep it up, and stick it on this side. The only thing you'll have to do is switch the bolts. Big bolt goes in here, little bolt goes in there. Now, you probably, because of the weight of the oil, will not need to do this, but I played it safe, and you'll notice there are a couple of holes right there. This fits in that groove right now pretty well. You can put a lot of weight on there, and that's not going to go anywhere. But if you want, if you find yourself kicking it by accident or something, and you want a little more security, just take these bolts and put them all the way through. So you're literally bolting the pot to the frame of the kettle corn machine. Now, I want to mention one thing here. Let me put this lid down. Now let's do it. You know what, before I do that, let's start her up. I always like starting them up. You know, I spent so much time on these machines trying to get the electric start to work. I like to show it off when I can. Okay, now this starts slower when I have the bowl up because the gases are running straight up. Okay, but I will see if it'll work at the first time. Needs a little bit more gas. Let's do less gas because it's got so much pressure on there. There we go. Now, you notice how I did that without the bowl, with the bowl up. Now you see that orange flame? When you got the right amount of pressure, boy, that heats up quick. The orange flame goes away. So I'm going to turn that off. Now let's put the bowl down here. Now I'm going to do it with the bowl down, just so you can see. Okay, so you turn it on. Whoop. Let's turn it on. Turn it on. One click. Boom, right there. Do it again, just for fun. Ready? Whoops, turn it on first. There we go. Okay. So we take the oil, put it in there. This is 2 cups. In my kit that I'm going to be getting, it's a starter kit. What you're going to get is a ladle, a pot. You're going to get salt shaker, and I like the clear plastic pieces better. This is a clear 8 cups, so you can use a double batch on the big ones if you want, or use 4 to 6 cups. I usually use 6 cups on my 80 quart machines, or 5 cups rather. I like that recipe, and it works good for the sugar too. So then, if you get a table, you will get a scooper. Now you notice how this one's square. I like this because in the tables you can reach in the corners and move the popcorn around a little bit better. And then you'll get another scoop. I like to use 2 scoops, so I'm using 2 scoops the whole time I'm doing the sifting on the table and cooling. And you'll notice how this is a little more round and narrow than the white one. That's so that when you scoop the popcorn up to put it in the bag, you can slide it right in the bag. One of these equals 1 bag, small bag, 2 equals a medium-sized bag, and 3, a little bit more than 3, gives you a full large bag. Now I charge $3, $5, and $7. Some people do a little bit different pricing point, but that's what I charge. Okay, anything else I want to show you on this? There's a few things, but I'll let it go for now. Most of you have seen my machines in my other videos, but I just wanted to show you this before I send it out to Bob in Mesa, Arizona. Alright? Okay. We'll see you guys later. And be mighty, my friends.